things Etsy will change in 2023. I nearly forgot. One of my favorite series they do is getting out my crystal ball and predicting what Etsy might be getting up to. So let's do a little predictions for 2023, even though we're 4 months into the year already. So things we pretty much already know. The old app is going to be ending. If you haven't heard this, really, you want to look into it. If you use the Etsy app to sell on Etsy, the old orange app is going to be closing and we're all going to be forced. What am I hitting? We're all going to be forced to use the blue app from now on. So check that, get used to the blue app, give Etsy feedback if you don't like it. I'm gonna I'm gonna say this I was gonna say I'm gonna say this will make me sound like a Luddite, but it's sort of a weird version of Luddite because I'm still using technology. But I think most people who are running a business on something like Etsy should be using something better like a PC to run their business on. The apps are always substandard versions of the website, of the actual going to Etsy on your computer. So yeah, the apps are there to help you, like, when you're out and about and stuff. It shouldn't really be what you're relying on, but I know so many people do. So they are trying to make the app better, but it's still missing some features. And the new app is missing features that the old app had, but it's got different features. And the other thing is the listing editor is changing or has changed depending. I haven't seen it yet, but I know it's there, so it's rolling out to people. But the listing editor, how you edit your listing, I think it's things like how you add photos, has also changed. Now, the predictions that I'm not so sure about, some I really hope, some I'm worried about, some might happen. So first things first is the Etsy Explore will roll out to everybody. Please, can we get on with this? For those that don't know about this, this is a thing that currently only iOS, Apple, fruit-based operating system sellers have access to. It's a place where you can put up videos on your products. Now, for people who are using it, people are asking, oh, does it get you more sales and things? Well, no, because it's not live to everybody yet. It's just for sellers who are using the fruit-based operating systems to upload their videos. But when and if, hopefully this is going to go live, when it does, there's going to be a nice load of videos there that'll hopefully start getting pushed and be seen. And those of you that are already in the test are getting ahead of the rest of us. But I've not seen it. My feeling is, from the explanations I've heard of it and from what I've seen of the CEO of Etsy talking about it, they're wanting it to be like a crafty TikTok where people can just feel crafty and jump on and have a look at all these things, see videos go past of crafty people making things, and then when they see something, go, oh, I want to buy that. So click on it. So if it works, it sounds really exciting. But roll it out to us all, please. um, Second thing, I think there might be tweaks to the star seller system. People are still not happy with it. People are never going to be happy with everything. I can't stand it. We've spoke about this. I don't like the star seller system. Now, with a deluge of complaints, it did change last year a little bit. They made it a little bit easier and stuff. I think they might be adding little tweaks to it. My fondest hope is they will just quietly remove it. That would be very cool, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I think there could be tweaks to it to make people a little more happier. So that would be making it a little bit easier, possibly especially for international sellers, because some can't use Etsy shipping labels and can't use tracked shipping, so can't ever get Etsy Star Seller. So it really has to be a level playing field. Um, okay. I'm thinking increased prominence for Handmade. With all the articles and stuff that's happened lately, people are noticing that there's a lot of resellers and stuff on Etsy that there shouldn't be. And I think Etsy is going to do something to increase the prominence of handmade stuff. I think it sort of has to. Now, the Etsy Explorer could be a part of this because if you're showing your items being made, it's kind of good. But if not this year, I think in the near future. I have a feeling because not all publicity is good publicity. Etsy have kind of kept on the down low. Even Josh, the CEO of Etsy, was asked in the investor calls about this, and they were like, "It's not really that big a deal. It's just a small percent of sellers." Well, yeah, it wasn't just resellers, it was like selling like IP infringing things, but they've been downplaying it, but they are aware that the media has made a big thing about all of this. So I think I don't know, I haven't heard anything, but I think they might be working in the background for some way to get Etsy back to being a handmade thing. But on top of that, here's an interesting thought. It's possible they could, rather than fight it and say, okay, we have to stamp out all resellers, it's got so big that perhaps they could create a category for resellers. Something to get them out of the way so they can still sell on Etsy, but our handmade stuff can be seen as well. I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but historically, Etsy has made some changes that means quite a lot of you probably couldn't have sold on Etsy in the past. The original Etsy, when I started, print on demand wasn't allowed. You weren't allowed to use a manufacturer, if you designed your item. But over time, they decided, okay, people who are designing stuff but send it off to get manufactured, that's okay too. So yeah, things have changed. I mean, some of the biggest shops are print on demand shops nowadays. So it's possible. Sometimes you've kind of got to move with the times and say, well, let's not fight it, let's just go with it. Haggling. Yeah, if you haven't seen, I meant to do a video about this and then got sick and didn't get around to it. But they are trialing, I think it's on some vintage items, the option for customers to haggle. If haggling isn't a term in your country, it's offering a lower offer to say, oh, let's see, you've got that up for $20. How about I offer you 15? And the seller might get back and go, 18? I really hope not. I hate this. Especially, I hate so many sellers undersell themselves. They don't even know. There was a question just in the forums the other day. Someone was saying, what does it mean in my net profit that it's saying a minus? And it's like, yeah, that's your fees are costing more than what you're making. So people just don't understand how to price their items. So if they put up an item and it's not really selling and someone comes in and offers something and they're not going through and saying, oh, how much does this item cost? Is this going to cost me money to actually just ship it with what the person's saying? So, and yet, look, we're not eBay. No to haggling. I say right now, no to haggling. Another thing, there could well potentially be more banned words coming in. We spoke about amber last year, I think. Amber as a keyword sort of seemed to have a sneak banningness. There was some warning. Etsy put it in a policy, but none of us understood what the policy said. We weren't sure, and even when I messaged Etsy, we, it was sort of kind of making it feel like it was amber that was dangling off things, stuff that could get into a baby's mouth. But there was a point where the word amber seemed to, like, some people whose names were Amber and whose shop name was Amber were getting all their listings taken down by an automatic bot going, oh, you're Amber, that's bad. And I have heard that cashmere has been having a thing as well. I haven't had a chance to look into this yet. So if you sell cashmere stuff, let me know what's going on. So sadly, I can't see that getting less. There's going to be more banned words, and Etsy is going to knee-jerk putting in a system that flushes out all the bad words, and it's banned word, and it's going to catch people that don't deserve to be caught, because that's kind of how things work. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know what words, but something's likely to happen. And possibility of Etsy incorporating more AI. There is the potential to use AI for help with like titles, descriptions, and tags. I don't think Etsy are going to do it because there's tools to help you with that, and it's such a minefield. But some kind of AI incorporated might be there. They might even use it for the suggestions. I mean, we do have suggestions for categories and things, so I don't know. It's a thought. They have clever people working there in their company, so it'll be interesting to see. And final little thing, I thought I would add a where are they now? Changes that Etsy made that seem to just vanish. And one is the listing photos augmented reality. I never saw this. This just went to iOS. I don't think it's rolled out more. I've not heard about it. It was 2 years ago, I think, where listings like of pictures that you could put on your wall, you could use augmented reality to be able to say, what's that going to look like on my wall? So then people could use that, hold up their phones to their wall and see what the picture would look like in situ. And that was rolled out. It looked kind of cool, and I never heard of it again. So yeah, where are they? Anyway, I hope that was interesting. My little crystal ball, that's what I'm doing there. My little crystal ball predictions. Some years it's been pretty close. We predicted listing videos before listing videos were a thing. But who knows? Let me know what you think might change this year, and if there's any of my little ideas that you think would be good. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.